5 Unsolved Mysteries of Ancient Egypt. Ancient Egypt has fascinated the imagination since we first cleaned the sands away from the Great Sphinx. For the past 2 centuries, it has been an obsession for archaeologists and historians. It is a land whose mysteries we have spent years slowly unraveling. Even after all this time, though, there is still a great deal we don't know. Some of the biggest discoveries of the ancient world still lie covered under the sands of Egypt, waiting to be revealed. More often than not, such revelations only yield yet more mysteries and unanswered questions. Here, we bring you the 5 unsolved mysteries of ancient Egypt. 5. The unknown Queen of Egypt. In 2015, archaeologists stumbled upon the tomb of a woman who was buried among the Great Pyramids of the Old Kingdom of Egypt. In her tomb were inscriptions calling her both the wife of the king and the mother of the king. 4,500 years ago, when this woman was alive, she would have been one of the most important people on the planet. She would have had greater power than any other woman in the nation. And nobody has any idea who she is. Historians have dubbed her Khentakawes III under the assumption that she was the daughter of Queen Khentakawes II. They believe she may have been the wife of Pharaoh Nefertari and the mother of Pharaoh Nekur, but they don't really know. They're just guessing. If her name was Khentakawes III, then there are no references to her whatsoever in anything we've ever found. Whoever she was once an incredibly powerful woman, but today, she is little more than an enigma. 4. The lost Egyptian labyrinth of HAWARA. 2,500 years ago, there was a massive labyrinth in Egypt that, in the words of one who saw it, surpassed even the pyramids. It was a massive building, 2 stories tall. Inside, there were an unbelievable 3,000 different rooms, all connected through a winding maze of passages so complex that nobody could find their way out without a guide. At the bottom, there was an underground level that served as a tomb for kings, and at the top was a massive roof made out of a single gigantic stone. Countless ancient writers described having seen it firsthand, but 2,500 years later, we still aren't sure where it is. The closest thing we've found to it is a massive 300 meters wide, or equal to 1,000 feet of stone plateau that some believe was once the foundation of the labyrinth. If it is, though, the top stories have been completely lost to time. In 2008, a team of georadar specialists scanned the plateau and found that underneath, there appears to an underground labyrinth just like the one ancient writers describe. As of yet, though, nobody has ever excavated it or stepped inside. Until somebody makes it into the labyrinth, we won't know for sure whether we've really found Egypt's greatest archaeological wonder. 3. The Sphinx of Israel. In 2013 in Tel Hazar, Israel, archaeologists found something they'd never expected to find so far away from Egypt, a 4,000-year-old Egyptian sphinx. Specifically, they found the paws of the statue resting on a base. The rest of it, it's believed, was deliberately destroyed thousands of years ago. Before somebody toppled it over, though, it would have been 1 meter or 3.3 feet tall and weighed half a ton. Nobody knows what an Egyptian statue was doing in Israel. The only clue left behind is an inscription on the base that bears the name King Misernus, the name of a pharaoh who ruled over Egypt around 2500 BC. It's highly unlikely that Tel Hazar was conquered by the Egyptians. During the reign of Misernus, known also as Menkaure, Tel Hazar was a trading hub in Canaan, directly between Egypt and Babylon. It was vital to the economic well-being of 2 of the biggest powers in the area. Our best guess is that it was a gift. If it was a gift, though, it's not clear why King Misernus sent it, or for that matter, why anyone got angry enough to shatter it. All we really know for sure is that for some reason, somebody built a Sphinx 0 kilometers or 600 miles away from the Great Sphinx of Giza. 2. The mysterious death of King Tut. King Tutankhamun was only 19 years old when he died, and nobody knows for sure what happened. His death is a complete mystery, but not because he was in the prime of his life. The reason that Tut's death is such a mystery is that there were so many things wrong with him that it's hard to tell which one finished him off. King Tut was in terrible health. He had malaria, for one thing, and he was born with so many genetic disabilities that historians are convinced his parents must have been brother and sister. He had a club foot and genetic defects that, some believe, may have made his death nothing more than a matter of time. He also had a fractured skull that, for a long time, was thought by archaeologists to be a sign that he'd been stabbed in the head. Today, it's believed that his head just got damaged while his body was being embalmed, but the possibility that he was murdered hasn't been ruled out. He broke his knee shortly before he died, too, which has led to a theory that he was killed in a chariot accident. If he was, though, getting on that chariot in the first place was a strange decision. Tut was so deformed that he couldn't even stand without someone propping him up. It could have been anything, or it could have been a whole slew of different things affecting him at once. The only thing we know for sure is that King Tut didn't get a lot of good news in his last month alive. 1. The hidden chamber of the Great Pyramid. The greatest pyramid of them all was built 4,500 years ago for Pharaoh Khufu. It is a massive structure, almost 150 meters or 490 feet tall, built with more than 2.3 million stone blocks. And yet up until recently there only seemed to be 3 chambers inside. If that seems like a lot of wasted space for you, you're not alone. That's why a team scanned the pyramid in November 2017 to see if there was anything they missed. Sure enough, above the Great Gallery of the pyramid, they found signs that there might be a large hidden chamber as large as the biggest room in the whole pyramid. The strange thing is that the Egyptians deliberately built the hidden chamber to be completely inaccessible. There are no corridors or pathways connected to it. The only way they could have put anything inside is if they filled the chamber while they were building the pyramid, then sealed it up afterward. We still haven't seen the inside of the hidden chamber. But whatever is in there, Pharaoh Khufu apparently didn't want it to ever see the light of day.